Da-da-da-da. And we're already off and running.
I'm glad that you started there because we needed to stop singing. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
It's Friday. We're punchy.
Thank God.
Did you enjoy the Black Pits where there was a lot of punching going on?
Oh God, that was so much fun to actually sit and watch
Okay,
as like a
okay.
full. Because behind the scenes, I was sitting there while they were doing the pre-recording stuff. So it was fun. Well, no, we were recording. It wasn't pre-recording. I was there while they were recording the game, but it was fun to see it all pulled together as one cohesive piece into different episodes. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was cool to see this week. Anyways, hi everyone. It's Friday. That means it's time for another paint and slay. And we are here for part 3 of painting the lovely Chimera from the WizKids Chimera paint kit. Now, we had Nora join us for the past 2 episodes as a celebration for Nahara launching into the game. However, that has come and gone, and now we are still working on finishing up this 3-headed monster. And so today we're going to work on doing some detail work as well as some dry brushing. But before we jump into that, Lauren, what news have we to share for our lovely game, Idle Champions?
Well, if you were watching the Black Dice Society last night, which I hope you were, if you are a fan of horror games and creepiness and a whole bunch of awesome people who are on that show, a lot of whom were on the Black Pits. There was the Black Pits, the Black Dice Society. There's a lot of that
wasn't
going
confusing
on.
at all.
Yeah. But they got to have a little bit of an extra announcement last night, which is probably not the biggest surprise considering we've had some champions from the Black Dice Society. But next week we get
Ta-da!
Valentine. Look at that creepy. Oh, that key art is so good. So good.
It's
so
I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, we say that every time key art comes out about a character. We're just like, this is amazing. This is amazing. So yes, Valentine is our next champion coming next week when the event starts on Wednesday. So if you're new to the game, and I know we have a lot of new people who've come in for the last couple of days from a couple of different promotions going on. Hi, new people, welcome. The fun thing you can do this weekend, it is a free time gate weekend. So what that means is you're going to be offered 3 champions and you can pick up one of those for free. And if you would like to do more time gates, or if you're lucky enough to get some of the characters from the Black Dice Society, you might want to pick some more of those up because, Desmond and Tatiana and they could always use a Valentine in their formation. So have fun with her next weekend.
Oh, I cannot wait.
Looks so good. Also, we do have the fabulous Martin in our chat today. If you've been watching a lot of the shows that have been happening over the last couple of days, you've probably noticed that we have shows that are dedicated to hardcore Idle Champions questions and shows that are adjacent to Idle Champions. This is one of those, but that does not mean that you cannot ask your Idle Champions questions in chat. definitely go ahead and put those in chat. Someone in the chat will probably have your answer. And any of the questions that come through, Martin will grab and put in our little backstage document. And I will do my best to answer your questions as they come on in. Make sure you put question in big capital letters before your question, because Martin does a lot and it makes it easier for him to grab the question. I think that's all I'm supposed to say.
I think, yes, that sounds about right. So anyways, we're going to jump into, well, not jump into the paint because that would be messy, but we're going to jump into getting some more painting going on. Now, we have the lovely base, which, by the way, if you've taken it out and accidentally broke this, or maybe it just disengaged itself, that happens. Actually, it's made it a little bit easier. I purposely broke mine because I prefer to be able to paint this first and then stick this sucker back on. So we're going to finish up with the base and do some dry brushing on the base first so it has time to dry, which means you want to grab your, now this is from the Vallejo model color line, so you want your German camouflage beige World War II color, which is a mouthful for something that is basically beige.
Yeah.
It's a cool beige.
Beigey green.
Yes. So you're going to want to get that, and with your dry brush, we're going to dry brush the texture of the base of the mini with a dry brush. Now, the kit does come with its own brushes. However, I'm going to use my flat dry brush for this from Redgrass Games. It's just called Dry, but any flat model paintbrush will do the trick for this one. And with dry brushing, you dip a little bit of paint onto the tip of the brush. You take your paper towel, and then you just brush off the excess until it starts to streak like so. That means you have about the right amount of paint load on your brush, and you will take it then over to your miniature. And what you do is just pull the brush over the surface of your miniature lightly, so you're catching the higher points of details on the miniature sculpt and bringing those out as a result from doing this dry brushing technique, like so.
Yeah. Just lots of fun.
Look at that.
Especially for a base like this, which has a surprising amount of texture.
Yeah, it has like pock marks and striations to it, so it's really very cool.
Yeah. So Martin, being the wonderful person that he is, has updated me on a few of the things that I forgot to talk about, because there was a lot. I did talk about the Free Time Gate weekend happening this weekend. It is still the Summer Spectacular, and because it is noon, you can go into the game right now and pick up your Summer Spectacular chest. So if you've got the game going on another window or another part of your screen, go ahead and open that up and grab your Summer Spectacular chest so you get that free stuff. Also, I got all that. Also, someone had asked, there we go, did Lauren radically change her background, or am I super unobservant? No and yes and no. So my background is technically absolutely the same. But since the last time you saw me, although I might have had this for Nora, I don't remember, I got lights. Ooh, look at the lights. Because as I've been telling lots of people, as I've been slowly updating my set here, I guess you could call it my office. I'm a pale person in front of a lot of dark stuff. And so for a while, it just looked like I was a ghost. This is floating head in front of everything. So I got some lights to, give the background a little bit more depth. And then you want to see, here's the cool thing. I was showing this to V before. So I've got it on blue, but I can do green, and I can do, that's the blue. I can kind of do red, but the red is, there we go. It's red. That's red. Let's go back to blue. And then if I really want to go have fun,
does it cycle?
I can have them fade and cycle.
That's what I have lights that do that just in my room, and I do that at night as like my chill out mood lighting.
This is definitely nice for me, but I haven't found it as nice on the stream, so I just keep it on the blue. There we go. So that is me introducing my background a little bit more. I hope you enjoy. back to the dry brushing.
Back to the base.
Yeah.
So basically, this helps bring out more of the texture that's going on the base now. So you can see by going from the green gray up to the German beige. You get more of the texture showing itself off. So this is pretty much good on my end. I'm going to set this off to the side to dry. And we're going to then shift. I'm going to close the paint pot. Make sure you close these up because you can still actually use these once you're done with the miniature in these paint kits. You get a lot of mileage on these little pots, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Just make
Just
sure
be
it's
careful as
closed.
you, and be careful
How
as you
you
open and
close
close them.
open. Yes, because
Yeah.
you can make a mess if you're not careful. A big one. Just
Mhm.
heads up. So we're
I'm
gonna
speaking
do
from
that.
experience.
As am I. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip over to details, and we still need to get the mouths for both the Dargon and the goat. So we're going to jump over to burnt red, and we are going to hold on. I'm playing the shuffle around game. We're gonna paint with a detail brush. We're gonna paint inside the mouths
All right.
for both the goat and the Dargon.
Goat and Dargon, burnt red.
Yes, burnt red.
And while that's happening, I'll answer a couple of awesome questions that have come on in. And yeah, if you've got a free time gate and you want to ask everybody's opinion on who to go for, you will get lots of opinions. All of them will be good. There is no wrong answer to what champion you get in your time gate, because eventually you want to get them all. But we're all happy to help. For example, SC Fatal asked, Krull, Binwin, or Dinar in my time gate? Who do I pick? So I will say, if you're looking for support, I'd go for Krull or Dinar. I really like Krull. I think Krull is super cool. And there's not a lot of evil champions in the game, so grabbing Krull is very helpful in very specific circumstances. If you're looking for a little bit more heals, go for Dinar. And if you really, really need a DPS, go for Binwin. But if all things are equal, I'd go for Krull. Yeah. Prince DODO57 says, oh, this is not a question, but thank you so much. Hi, I'm new and I love your channel. Hey, welcome. We're so happy to have new people. If you would like to join us for future Paint and Slays, all of the information, hold on, I got my good drink. All the information to join us on Paint and Slay is posted on our Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions. I am required to drink now.
I'm required to warn that the frog is back outside in my tree. If you're hearing some weird chirping, it's a frog.
It's a frog.
It's a frog.
It's all the frogs. So yeah, come to our Discord where we have a Paint and Slay channel where we post the stuff that you need basically for all of our shows. We're doing a specific kit right now, but in general, we have suggestions for like a little brush pack and a little paint pack, and then we tell you what minis we're going to be using, and you can paint along with us. All of our shows are also up on our YouTube channel. So if you would like to join us for the next, if you come in the middle of a paint and you want to catch up, all of them are on our YouTube. And I just got burnt red or whichever one all over my finger, but that's okay.
Oh dear. Just make sure you wash your hands before you go out, otherwise you're gonna give someone a heart attack.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a goat mouth done, which looks kind of sinister now, but there's a reason why we're going with the darker red inside the mouth.
I mean,
continued.
It's a chimera, so
it is. It's a feisty chimera.
Really upset goat.
Well, I mean, it's stuck between a couple predators, so yeah.
Yeah. We were talking last week about how upset this goat was, which I don't blame it.
Nope.
Thank you, Engines Wild. That's a very nice compliment. Mostly, I've just had a lot of performing experience, so that helps. Let's see. Miki Murasao asks, do we have any info on what bench slot Valentine will be in so we don't pick a time gate and have to boot them for Valentine right away? Ooh, that's an excellent question. So the blog for Valentine should be up. If it isn't, it should be up shortly. Sometimes it takes the website a little bit to post blogs because we post a champion spotlight blog the week before a champion goes live. So you have a chance to take a close look at the champion and kind of get excited for them. So Valentine, I'll just look this up for you, and I'm just making sure I've got the right one. Valentine's going to be in bench slot 5. She swaps with Calliope. So Hope that helps. But yeah, go check out the full write-up on Valentine up on our website, because that blog should be live.
Excellent.
And if it isn't live, you might need to refresh the site because,
yeah,
cookies.
fun stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, inside of mouths are always so hard.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah.
Not exactly my favorite part of the creatures when we get to them.
But having the red mouth looks so cool.
It does.
So it's totally
really
worth
does
it.
Make a difference.
And we already did work on the lion mouth, right?
We did the lion mouth already, yeah.
Okay. Prince Dodo 57 is back again. Someone have some tips for beginners on the game. I finished the first 2 adventures, but what can I do now? Ooh, excellent. So I'm going to give you a couple of resources to help because obviously there can be a lot out there, and I'm sure people in chat are offering a bunch of different options. Go check out our YouTube channel, the Codename Entertainment YouTube channel. We have a whole series of really short, very helpful how-to-do videos. What to do, what does this mean, what to do next, that kind of thing. So you can go check those out. You can also go to the subreddit or the Discord where there are a lot of guides. Specifically, Garwar and Mars probably have a guide for that. But to quickly answer your question, what do you do next? Whatever you want. Okay, but seriously, there's probably a free play that has opened up for you. Go ahead and play the free play. Go ahead and have some fun playing around with the champions that you unlock and putting them in different parts of the formation and seeing what they do. And when you hit the part of the free play where you can't go any farther because that's just where you are, you haven't unlocked enough champions or they don't have enough gear and you've hit your wall, as we call it, restart the adventure. Hit the restart. Even if it says, hey, you're supposed to make it to area 50 and you're only at 37, restart, because you'll earn all kinds of stuff to help for your next run. What are we doing next?
Next, we're jumping to black. All right. Seriously, basic black from Vallejo's game color or even their model line. Both the blacks are the same. Trust me, I use them both. So we're going to go to black. We're going to go to our detail brush. And now we're going to put black on the hooves of the goat, the claws of the lion, and the talons of the dragon. So if it's pointy and scratchy stabby, you want to paint it.
Pedicure time. I get it.
Pedicure time. Although I don't know.
Or
wingator? I don't know. What would you call when you do the details on the wings?
I don't know. I was also thinking about that with the hooves. Is it still a pedicure if it's hooves? Hoovacure?
Huh?
Sure. I mean, it's a fantasy character, so whatever we say is right?
Exactly.
It's not like this is a real goat. There's probably a term for it, because I know you...
I mean, when you shod a horse, maybe that's just it. It's getting shod. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, because that's part of...
It is. When you shod a horse, you have to, scrape it off and all that stuff before you put the new shoe on, so...
Yeah, gotta clean everything up.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's specifically talking about the act of putting on a horseshoe.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. Chat will figure it out. Chat always does.
Martin's also very good at quick Googling and letting us know.
Poor Martin knows in advance when he has to mod this channel to just have a Wikipedia page open. Because we ask these questions and then it's like, I wonder. And then I look over 5 minutes later at a little backstage chat and Martin has just written a novel.
There's
and
a
it's
response
great.
for that.
Yeah, there's a moderator for that.
Uh-huh.
All right. Oh. All right. Hooves, claws.
Hooves, claws, and talons. Hooves, claws, and talons. That's a pretty cool pub name. Or a tavern for your next game.
Yeah.
We're going to the Hooves, claws, and talons.
All right, now I really feel like I'm giving this thing a manicure.
So tell me about your week.
Getting this dew claw is hard, though.
Getting angles is interesting for me right now with the camera and wanting to get closer to the mini. Yeah,
we are at the point of these minis and where you're going to see a lot of us and I'm just trying to remember to not hunch or anything. But yeah, in order to show off things on camera as well as be able to get the minis painted, we might be off camera a little bit and then back on.
try and
You'll have to
give a
forgive
heads up.
us.
Oh, darn it. I also steepled against the wrong bit. My bad.
There we go. I'm gonna look over and grab another question as I continue to try to pedicure. Basilisk asks, walnut, binwin, or brig? Ooh, I'm gonna say brig. Unless you really need tanks, in which case walnut. But brig is so useful. He's such a good support, and he is eligible for a lot of the adventure variants and patron variants that not a lot of other champions are eligible for. So he is incredibly useful. And you said all the little claws on the wings, right? All right, claws on wings.
Sorry,
Joan
I was
of
holding
Arc.
my breath while I was painting claw nails. Wasn't trying to ignore. It's like, let me get this sound out so I can approve it, but also keep painting.
Yep. Fog Piscello 2 asks, Grama or Warden? Ooh, that's also, do you need a tank or do you need a DPS? Grama is a very good tank and is kind of an interesting tank to have because she's one of those tanks that you don't necessarily have to have all the way up front, and she's still very, very useful. And Warden is a great DPS because he's a support DPS, so he also basically buffs other people and himself while he is DPSing. Also, we just put out that Nature Warden skin, which is really, really pretty.
God, it's neat.
Yeah.
It is very neat.
Yeah. So my question back to you is, do you need more DPS or do you need more tanky tanks? And if that question doesn't answer your question, who do you need more in that slot? What slot has fewer champions, and go for that?
Yeah.
Because once again, there's no wrong answers because you're going to want to pick up all the champions eventually. So it's just kind of figuring out what's helping you the most now.
What is your immediate gratification?
There's also people like me who the answer is, well, but I want the champions being played by my friends. And so I'm going to pick up this champion because I like having them in the formation because they're my friend. So once again,
it's totally fair to do it that way too.
Oh yeah. I put formations together that are just, but these are all my friends, and I want them.
My formations are basically like, oh, I want to see what these guys do together. I have no tactical approach to it. It's just like, let's just have some fun.
When a new champion comes out, one of the first things I do is I put together a formation that once I unlock the champion, I play a free play or two in where it's all of the heroes of the plains, and that champion just can be like, here's me and all my friends welcoming the new champion, because that's how I play. That's what I do. Don't judge me. I'm having fun.
Not judging. I'm not judge.
Oh, I know you're here for this.
Totally.
I know chat's here for this too, right?
Yes.
As I just look at chat. Did I miss? Oh no, that's just because the wing is in a different configuration. It looked for a second like I missed a claw on the wing, but it's the part of the elbow, I guess. Wing elbow. This right here.
Yeah.
Which for a second looked like I'd missed a claw. I
believe it's four talons on the wings. On the spread out part, you have your elbows, and then you have the upper dew claw talon at the top of the wing.
Excellent.
Total of 5 on each one.
Oh, Martin is filling us in on hoof care and maintenance. I just saw a lot of typing going on.
I love it.
And now I'm excited. So I'm gonna finish these claws and then I'm gonna look over because I wanna educate the audience. Because why not?
Get yourself a moderator who does it all.
Yep. The more you know, the more you have Martin. I got one more wing talon left and then I'll look up, I promise.
I have 2.
Eh. The problem is I need to remember to look at it from multiple sides, or else there's a side that the Talon just doesn't get a pedicure, and then it's sad.
Yeah, sorry for the shaky camera. I just elbowed my camera arm.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I just rattled the
Okay, good.
camera a little bit.
Okay. Martin is here to help. Hoof nail specialists are called farriers, and they specialize in trimming and balancing horses' hooves and shoeing them. And then for horse anatomy, the back is the heel, and the hoof and nail is called the claw, according to Google. So essentially, this
the claw, and the talons.
This goat has claws. Yeah.
Oh my
That's amazing.
Goodness.
The ankle between the shin and the hoof is called the pastern. The hoof itself is essentially just a really strong nail. That I knew because I know there's some hooves and horns that are either really strong nails or really strong teeth. And they react differently depending on what they do, because if it's a nail, it continues to grow throughout the life of the animal, where if it's teeth, some of the teeth stop growing. And that's why you have creatures that if they break a tooth or if they break a horn, it's actually a tooth and it doesn't grow back.
Yeah.
So
got to be careful.
Yeah.
Best to be careful. Okay, so
right. Manicure is done.
Woohoo! All right, we are going to go back to, let's see here. We're going to go back to dry brushing.
Okay.
So we're going to start dry brushing the wings with some orange brown.
Orange brown. All right.
Okay. Which is this lovely orange brown color. There's really
name is accurate.
Yes.
Accurate name is accurate.
Accurate name is on the money this time, as opposed to sometimes you get names and you're like, the what now?
Yeah, like that green that we had earlier. And are we doing all over the wing?
We are doing all over the wings themselves, and then we're also going to do on that bright, vivid red of the dragon's head and tail. So we're going to be very light-handed with this, but we're going to go in and start bringing out the texture of the wings.
All right. And meanwhile,
probably would help to get the cat hair off the brush too, but hey, you know.
I love every once in a while I catch live chat, and everyone is hardcore talking about fingers and nails, and I'm not sorry. Also, I just saw a question basically for UV, because it's an excellent question from Quinn 10, 11, 12, 13. It's a Roman numeral.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering. Like, are we looking at a different type of numeric?
Yeah,
notation?
It's Quinn XIII. So Quinn 13 asks, as someone looking into painting miniatures, do you have any tips and suggestions for beginners, which is what this show is all about?
First of all, the most important thing when you start getting into miniature painting, find a miniature you want to paint that is larger, not like a PC style mini, because that will come with time. When you paint on a larger scale with something like this, you'll find it easier to try these techniques out, get a feel for how the paint works on the plastic, how the brushes work against the plastic, etc. But you'll have it a slightly larger scale to work on. So I always say, if there's a monster you've really wanted to paint, snag that monster and paint that monster up, because you'll enjoy the process of painting it more if it's a figure or a sculpt that you're interested in. And because it's bigger, it's easier for you to go in and try and get a feel for how this all works before you jump into doing the smaller scale where you are not holding your breath the whole time. Don't do that, you will pass out. But where you have to focus more, and the potential to get more frustrated because it is smaller and more finite, and you may not have those finite hand motions built into your muscles yet. Definitely go for a monster or a larger size miniature, which I know sounds like an oxymoron, but do that
until you see the really large miniatures that are out there, and they get big.
Until they really aren't miniatures anymore, they become maxatures. So start with that. You also don't necessarily have to jump right into getting the super expensive model paints. You can work with craft paints to get going, all right? And give yourself the ability to see if you even like miniature painting at all, because there are some people who get all the gear and all the stuff and really put a huge investment into it and then realize, oh, you know what? I'm not as keen on painting as I thought I would be. So you can use craft paints. And then the other thing is that as you're working on your first mini ever and you're learning how to miniature paint and you're following along our previous episodes or other YouTube painters, people on Twitch, that type of thing, do not go back and change the first mini you've ever painted. I said this recently, but once you finish painting that mini, keep that mini as is so that I can beg your pardon. A cat just jumped off of my table. You can go back in and see the progress you've made as you start painting other minis. But really, as Lauren mentioned, our Discord has a great resource for supplies to get started. I would definitely check that all out. Definitely catch our other episodes on the YouTube channel, because most of these are beginner friendly for sure.
And not only do you not have to spend a lot of money to get started, we are literally painting a miniature that came out of a kit, in where the kit comes with absolutely everything you need.
Yep.
And because the brushes and the paints are multi-use, you're going to have way more paint than you need for this mini. And the brushes, obviously, you can keep using. That's often a really good way to give stuff a try as well. Pick up if you see a kit out there that is for a specific mini that you're excited about painting, pick up that kit. And then that gets you a good starting place if you want to do more. And if there isn't a kit, then the stuff that's listed on the Discord, basically what you need is it's a basic set of brushes, it's a basic set of paints, it's a mini, and then it's some paper plates and paper cups and water and paper towels.
Yep.
That's I'd show you my paper plate, but it's currently covered in a pot of brown.
So I would not recommend showing off paper plate.
No, not at the moment. Now it's got the full pot on there. I can show it later. But yeah.
And really just get started. Don't feel like you have to go in for the perfect time, the perfect tutorial, what have you. Just get the paint on the miniature, and that's the best way to get started. Just jump in and start trying.
I will also add on to that. Do not feel like you have to then grab a mini you are going to use in a game or even have a game to use it on. I mostly play Theater of the Mind D&D or online with a lot of people. And so my mini collection that I have painted is the vast majority of them are just for fun. They're just for me to have and use and enjoy. And I just like painting minis with V. And then I get to look and say, oh, I did that. So if you don't currently have a D&D game, or you have a D&D game but it's online, or you have a D&D game but you're like me and you do all Theater of the Mind stuff, do not, and you're still interested in painting minis, you don't have to pick it up and come up with a justification to use it. The justification is, this is something I want to do for fun.
Exactly.
That's all.
Exactly.
Dry brushing under tail, or under the wing where the tail is hard.
There's some tricky angles on this one. But you can see there is a difference when you go from the wing that is dry brushed to the wing that was not dry brushed yet.
Yeah, especially on the darker red.
Yep.
It helps to show off all those ridges.
And it's okay if you get this on the black of the Talons too. You don't have to keep the Talons can also get a little bit of dry brushing on them as long as they're dry.
Yeah. Let's see. I have a lot more questions about this or that. I'll actually skip real quick to AlwareDZ asking, is there going to be more codes? So the codes that come up for Electrum chests or other fun stuff, there's usually at least one per show. Because this is the Summer Spectacular, there is some other shows and codes that are floating around, especially for that Tatiana Gladiator skin, which is so cool. Super
awesome.
Cool. But going forward, the best thing to remember is that any of our shows, 99% of our shows, and the shows that we send an in-game alert for, if you go to, will have a code for probably an Electrum chest. And so come on by, pick up your code, say hi to everybody, and then hang out and see, is this a stream you'd like to enjoy? We have a whole... Ow. No. Ow.
She's painting the tail.
How did you know?
Pikey.
Yeah. We have a whole variety of shows on our channel, and then we send out alerts to a bunch of D&D streams that we partner with in a variety of ways. For example, there's an alert that goes out when the Black Dice Society begins streaming on Thursdays because, we kind of like them.
Can't imagine why.
Hey, I wonder why we like them. So that's the best way to pick up codes as they are coming out.
Yeah.
Let me grab the water. You can also pick up codes if you come to our Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions.
Drunk.
Because no one person can watch or absorb all of the shows that have codes. We send out chest codes to a lot of places. So the community puts together essentially a list. There's a whole channel on the Discord that is dedicated to, hey, chest codes. So definitely go check that out. And then my suggestion is when you see those codes, what you'll see is what the code is, when it expires, and where it comes from. Take a moment and when you get a chance, check out those shows. Maybe there's a podcast that you'll be excited to listen to. Maybe there's a show that you normally don't get to see, but you see that they have a code and, give them a listen. Give them a check out.
Absolutely.
Ow. Tail.
I know, that tail. That tail is fun, yo.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm just getting to the tail myself. So I did have my Chromebook showing the Twitch chat for me, and then Hemingway has decided, no, that's the perfect place for curling up on top of, and he quickly reset to some other channel, so I quickly closed the lid. So I'm sorry, chat, I can't see you right now. Hemingway decided that cuddling is more important. You can see him right there. Ta-da.
Hi, kitty. Hey, listen, every streamer knows that, it's pets are always welcome, or pets are mostly welcome on streams. There have been a couple of pet appearances that's like, well, whoopsie. But yeah. I'm pretty sure if I come back over here to chat that, yep, kitty tax immediately.
Kitty,
immediately saw people talk. Everybody enjoys a kitty. If you watch any of Jason Charles Miller's streams, he does music on Mondays and Whatever You Want Wednesdays on his channel. He also has specifically a doggy cam for his two lovely dogs who on a regular basis, when he's playing, just curl up next to wherever he's playing and fall asleep. It's adorable. Oh,
yeah, I can't do a kitty cam. I already have 2 cameras cranking as it is on this.
Well, and with cats, as soon as you point a camera at them, because they're being cute, they will intentionally move.
I don't know if you're picking up that one.
No. What was that?
We have a Cotton who's just joined the brigade.
I
have 3 cats. So that was Hemingway sitting next to me. Cotton is now on the floor, making presence known. Rory is sleeping like a good little girl over on the window seat. So there we go. Okay, so this takes care of this orange-brown. Pretty much everywhere I wanted it to go for the red of the dragon.
I'm just finishing up the head right now.
There you go. Don't attack your brother. You're going to attack your brother, aren't you?
It's like the cats knew that it was the summer spectacular and they're here to enjoy.
Yeah. Okay, and then we're going to jump over to basic skin tone to get the lighter bits in terms of the throat and the fins on the dragon. So we're going to jump down to pale, or basic, not basic skin tone. She's so basic, yo.
It's super basic.
Yeah. So let me...
Sorry, it's impossible for me to open these up carefully without making faces.
Fair.
I don't know why.
Totally fair. It's a thing. It is absolutely a thing.
Oh, jeez. Don't. There we go. Okay.
Don't explode.
I hadn't opened this one yet, so there was a moment.
Oh, yeah. That's fair. That is actually
Okay,
fair.
I'm sorry. What are we doing with
It's gonna be the throat.
Mm-hmm.
And the fin.
All right. Of the dragon.
Of the dragon, yep.
The dragon.
The
Oh,
dragon.
that's a little too much. That's a little too much.
Yeah, you want to be light, a little bit more light-handed with this one.
Let me grab a couple questions real quick. Alware Z asks, I did join the Discord. What channel in Discord do I have to keep an eye on, please? So all these are going to be, they're going to have the hashtag in front of them. Combinations will get you the channel that has codes in them. There is a ask for help with underscores, and that's a really good place for, obviously, ask for help. Do not feel embarrassed about asking any question. We have new people coming all the time. And time gates with the time underscore gates is an excellent place to ask literally about time gates. Hey, I've got these 3. Who should I go for? And there was one other quick question. Terminal Stream says, thank you for the chilled art stream and helpful tips. I'm new to the community, but loving the variety of content from the team. Oh, thank you. Glad you enjoy. And then
I'm also putting this on the horns, by the way. I realized I like how it looks on the horns, so take it onto the horns too.
Okay, on the dragon horns?
Yep.
I don't know why for a second I thought it was the ram's horns, but...
I mean, I probably will take it to the ram horn, to be honest.
Taking it to the horns. All right, let's go through some more of these time gate questions. Bookish Oddish asks, Xander, Cathris, or Sasaspia? I'm gonna go Sasaspia. All 3 of them are decent buffers. Sasaspia is evil, and there's not a lot of evil champions, so she'll help fill in some gaps. If not Sasaspia, then my second choice would be Cathris, because Cathris is also really useful as a support, and I'm also a fan of any support that have options to... Basically, they can still be effective in a bunch of different places. So for Cathris, there's a specific specialization in where you can say, oh, I want you to continue to buff people who are far away from, or who are close to me. Or you can tell him, no, go ahead and buff these people who are far away from me, and you can move him around. What? What happened?
Hold on.
I'm holding.
You have something to say? He's been sitting there meowing at me like, Mom!
Just wanted to say
come
hi.
And say hi.
And as soon as they were on camera.
Yep. Did you see the look of panic?
Wait, hold on a second.
That wasn't part of the deal.
People can see that I'm cute. Ow.
Tail.
Ow. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a wimp.
It's the tail.
No, I'm not sorry. I'm
no,
just...
there are some pokey bits to this. I fully concur and support your ows.
I am here to support the pokiness of the ows. I mean, nothing will ever be as pokey as that Remoraz, but...
I don't know if I'll paint that mini again. One and done. Some minis are definitely one and done in my book for me.
Yeah. Fantastic Tanuki got Stokey, Omen, or Spurt. Oh, Spurt. You gotta go Spurt. Spurt is just fantastic. Also, Spurt's ultimate is amazing.
Oh my god, I love it.
Although I will say Omen is also really good. Omen is another champion that gets a lot of surprising use in a lot of my formations when I'm going after some specific patron stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spurt is just adorable.
Just, my heart, Spurt. You can't help it.
You did.
That's all.
Every once in a while, I pull up that clip of Perkins on Critical Role as Spurt. I'm just like, this is amazing.
Oh my god, it was adorable.
Milk Law 42 says Artemis, Jim, or Regis. Ooh. Okay, if you'd rather have a buffer, go Regis, because Jim and Artemis are DPS.
Yeah.
And both of them are good for completely different reasons. Which I'm not going to go into here because there's actually a lot of depth to both of those characters that could be hard to explain quickly. So my very quick suggestion is if you need a DPS, go for one of those, and you might want to ask in chat because there's going to be a lot of people who their next question is going to be, do you have these other champions who synergize really well with either Jim or Artemis? And that may help you make that decision. Ms. Long 0617 says Walnut, Narak, or Averin. Averin. Averin is just one of the top buffers out there, hands down. And I'm not just saying that because he's in Heroes of the Plains, because you know what? It's Todd, and Todd doesn't need to hear that Averin is that good, but he is. Averin is really, really a strong buffer. So you're going to want Averin.
To wrap it up, I use my detail brush to dot the eyes of the dragon head.
Oh, with this pinkish.
Yep.
That's a good idea. All right.
Yep.
I'm gonna do that because I just finished.
There you go. Okay. All
right. And now I'm gonna be quiet for a second as I dot I's and cross T's.
Dot. So while you're dotting, I'm gonna jump over to Cork Brown, which is just this nice light brown, almost like a mochaccino brown. If you want a food color reference. So we're going to grab that and we're going to dry brush the mane and the ridge of the fur of the lion. I'm a lion.
I'm a lion.
Okay. You're what?
Okay.
I'm a lion. God, I love that. I'm sorry. That is like one of my favorite little TikTok things. I'm a
lion. Oh, okay. Eyes. Oof.
Breathe.
Yeah.
So now we already did some dry brushing last week on this. So what I'm doing on the mane is floating this even lighter than I did last week, just to highlight things a little bit more.
All right, you said Cork Brown.
Cork Brown, yep.
Oh, Evil Turnip Tea is asking probably one of the hardest questions I have ever seen. Hold on a second. Oh, it is not Idle Champions related, but it's very side Idle Champions related, which I will explain shortly. Evil Turnip Tea asks, I'm doing a new Mass Effect Legendary playthrough. Mark Mirror, Jennifer Hale.
Oh,
that's so hard.
Oh, it's a punch in the gut.
Yeah.
Both.
Yes, do two playthroughs.
Play through both.
One is FemShep and one as male Shep.
Yep.
I don't think you can pick one, but since it sounds like this is not your first playthrough, if that's true, then you don't have to worry about romance spoilers. So I would pick the Shep that works best with your romance option. Other than that, it's a coin toss. It really is. They're both excellent.
All right. So that is the mane with the Cork Brown added onto it.
Yeah, I'm just finishing that up now.
And then I'm going to go to Pale Sand to get the body of the lion.
Okay. Yeah, oof, that's a hard.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about playing Mass Effect again because of the legendary version that's come out, and it's been a while. The problem is I can't open the Pale Sand. Oh, geez.
Oh, that is a problem.
Okay. The problem, it's a good problem to have, but the problem is I have a hard time doing a playthrough and not making all of the exact same decisions that I did before.
Oh, interesting.
Like, it's just really hard for me to, because I did try once. I tried to go through as a different shepherd making different decisions, and within the first cutscene, nope. I was making all the same decisions. So, which is not bad.
I think it's just your play style.
Yeah, I just feel like if I'm gonna go ahead and spend the money on the Legendary Edition, like I should try to do a couple of playthroughs, or at least a playthrough that is slightly different.
Fair.
Have you played Mass Effect?
I have not played Mass Effect. I have watched others play Mass Effect, though.
Nice.
Yeah. I tend to be one who... Oops. No dropping the Chimera. I tend to be one who more enjoys watching others play video games, because my style of video game is like, give me things like Minecraft and Animal Crossing and that type of style game, and I will lose myself to those games for hours upon hours upon hours on end. But I tend to prefer to watch other style games than to actually play it.
I think that is actually a pretty normal thing, especially when it comes to games that are objectively good games that are just not up your alley.
Yeah.
Like I just finished watching, it was probably about a 200-hour an Elden Ring playthrough that Day 9 did.
Yeah.
That I thoroughly enjoyed just watching him play Elden Ring, because I played through Dark Souls.
There you go.
I know what those games are. Yeah. I know how awesome they are. They're just not for me.
Yeah.
Playing them anyway, not for me. But I thoroughly enjoyed watching him play and getting his commentary and not getting frustrated myself trying to defeat those bosses. So
I'm also
I totally get that.
The face of the lion. Don't forget that part.
Oh, yeah. All the wrinkles on those cheeks.
Yep. I'm actually going to pay a little bit more attention to the mouth right now, because you can see it'll start bringing out the teeth a little bit.
There's a really, really angry crow.
You have a crow who has opinions.
I've got a crow outside my window who is just super unhappy with me right now. I don't know why.
And then I'm going to wrap this pale sand onto the horns of the goat.
Ah. Okay. Meanwhile, Ezekira asks, Grama, Oriza, or Ayla? I say Grama or Ayla. And of the two, I say Ayla, because I find her her tanking ability to stun is really useful. So if I had to choose between those three, although Grama is also a really good choice, especially for tanks. And Gray L-Shaped wants to know, is that a big tooth coming out of a unicorn's forehead? So you're probably seeing the goat in an interesting way, but we've got dragon, lion, and goat. And so my camera is not the best for minis. That's probably what you were seeing.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to go back to, I'm going to put, if I can open it, we're going to go to chocolate brown. Having the wrong brown. We're going to do chocolate brown. We're going to put it into the eye sockets of the lion.
Okay.
As well as the nose of the lion.
We're going to stick chocolate up the lion's nose. Okay, good to know. This reminds me, someone asked about chocolate. Ooh. And I saw it. Miki Murosao wants to know, can I get chocolate in my time gate? No, but you can get chocolate right here on the show. With this chocolate brown. All right, eyes and nose. It's going to get real quiet on the stream for a moment, everybody. If
you hear a phone, yes, it is my house phone.
Man, even the crow got quiet for me to take care of this eye.
So now keep in mind, this is the eye socket. So you're not getting as finite detail as you are for the eye itself. So it's like, you know how skeleton skulls, they're blacked out? You're kind of doing that, but with the brown. Is what we're doing for the eye sockets on the lion. And then I'm going to do the nose.
Okay. Whew. All right. Riot Fox asks, now I'm wondering, do these paints behave like acrylics? Ooh,
they are question. Acrylic.
There you go.
These are acrylic paints.
The answer then is yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have acrylics at home, there you go. You've got minis to paint.
Exactly. Craft paints are acrylic paints. Model paints are also acrylic paints. It's the distribution and the size of the pigments that can shift. Obviously, with model paints, the pigments are smaller and more, evenly distributed. Whereas craft paints, they can use larger size pigments. I mean, we're talking like tiny, 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 minuscule sizes, but that's the general basic overview of differences in paint, etc. Okay, so we have the chocolate brown done for the nose and for the eye sockets. Then we're gonna go back to the orange brown, and we're gonna dot. Now we're gonna dot the eyes in the eyeballs.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is where you want your pupil or your iris, not your iris. Your iris, not this iris. Eyeball iris.
I am gonna cheat.
What you gonna cheating? Do?
I'm grabbing a toothpick.
Okay.
This is a fun trick that V suggested a long time ago. Yeah. For stuff like this. These tiny, tiny, tiny little, just want a little dot of something. Mm-hmm. Toothpick into the eye. And so, yes, I literally went out, this is a couple months ago at this point, and bought a box of toothpicks just for this moment.
There we go.
Yeah, but I find it a lot easier to...
It's looking at you, kid.
I find it way easier to get a dot, a tiny, tiny eyeball dot with the toothpick than with even the smallest of brushes.
Oof. I am slouching. I need to not slouch.
Oh, yes. This is a good time to remind everybody to stretch.
Yep. Move around.
Yeah, remember when you're painting minis or sitting at your computer for a while, take a moment to stretch. Take a moment to remind people about the Discord and then drink water.
Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of mixing. We're going to take the green gray and some white to lighten up the green gray so that we can dry brush the texture of the goot. So I'm actually going to get where'd my number 3 brush? There it is. So I'm going to mix with a separate brush. Here's my green gray, which in natural light is definitely living up to its green gray color. And I'm going to use one of the, basically the well of the water pot so I can get this mixed up.
And this is where my paper plate comes in handy. Mm-hmm. All right. So green, gray, and how much white?
I'm doing 2 parts green gray to 1 part white. Even like half of a part white if you want to take it easy.
Oh, I just saw this. Kralis9 says, because this is a chimera, is it just a coincidence that this is a 3-part stream, or was it planned this way?
Well, let's just say happenstance was on our side.
Yeah, we were originally going to have this be a 2-part stream. But you know what? We were having so much fun with Nora, and we were chatting.
We were chatty.
And you know what? It took a little bit longer to do this mini, and that's absolutely fine. So it just so happened to turn into a 3-part stream.
Yeah, it's all good.
Exactly. The synergy, though, I do like. I didn't even think about the synergy until you pointed it out.
Yeah. Okay, so once you have it lightened up, just go back in and start dry brushing the goat's texture with the dry brush.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Making a mess. Fun messes, though. Fun messes. Yeah. Miki Murasel wants to know if a bird could grow a beard. Would it be made out of hair or feathers? Discuss.
Feathers.
Ooh, you had an answer for that right away.
Yeah. Because there are some birds that have interesting plumage that can mimic, what you think of like, a ponytail or, sideburns and things like that. So
yeah,
I'm kind of just going off of what I already see out in nature. I definitely think it would be feathers.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think for talking about real life, I agree with V. They are feathers. For talking about D&D,
all bets are off.
If we're talking about D&D, then the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then both. Why not both?
Yep.
And
There's some fun angles right
a,
now.
I think it's Abandon 587, but it might be Abaddon 587. Okay. New player here. Hi, hello. Welcome. They would like to know Krond, Black Viper, or Morrigan. Ooh.
Also names we don't hear that often.
I really enjoy Black Viper, but she takes work. And I got her very, very early when she first came out. So I've had the time to put the work into building up her gems to make her more powerful. So if you are looking for a DPS who might be more powerful right out of the gate, I would go with Krond. And Krond is just a lot of fun. If you are looking for support, go with Morrigan. Morrigan is also surprisingly versatile as a support. All of her specialization options are another one of those kind that you can just kind of put her anywhere and then pick the specialization options that make the most sense. So yeah, if you're looking for DPS, I'd go Krond. If you are looking for support, I'd go Morrigan.
And if you have time on your hands, Black Viper.
Yes. Once again, no wrong answers to any of these because the ideal is, it'll take a while and it depends on how much active time you want to put into the game, but you can get all of the champions just by playing the game, just by putting in the time and unlocking them in time gates. And every time there's an event, you can get the previous 2 years champions. So you can very, very, I'm not gonna say easily, but there's a very clear path to obtaining all of the champions. And as you progress in the game, I just realized I haven't done are we doing the back hindquarters of the goat with this as well? Okay, yeah, then I remembered what I forgot. What was I saying? Oh, geez. I was talking about unlocking all the champions.
And the time.
Oh, I remember. So as you progress in the game, you're going to be offered things like patron challenges, where you'll have to do challenges, the adventure variants, and you'll have to do them with a smaller roster of champions depending on a patron that you are trying to work for, essentially. And so having as many options of champions as possible is super helpful at that point in the game, because there are champions like Strahd, who his requirements is that you have to have an intelligence of at least, I think it's 13.
Yeah.
12 or 13 or higher. And I have bad news for you. There are not a lot of champions who have an intelligence over a 10. So having as many champions as possible so that you have options is super, super good. And to answer the question that always comes up when I talk about Strahd and intelligence, no, we are not going to be putting out a feat so that Orkira can be eligible for Strahd, because the amount of intelligence bump she would need is ridiculous. So thank you. I appreciate the ask, but no. But no. I mean, she can't be good at everything.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. I was painting.
No, that's okay.
Painting and dealing with a fuzzy friend. Hello, buddy. All right, so that takes care of the goat. Here, he's pulling what Roy did last week, except on the other side. Say hello to everybody.
Hi, kitty.
This is Hemingway, my little Hemmy.
Aw.
Yeah.
It's because he doesn't know that he's on camera.
No, this one does. This one, okay. He's very much aware of camera footage and such. He's the one who will make appearances when I'm playing games and like hop up on my lap and just want to say hi to everyone. So.
Okay. We have half an hour, 25 minutes left.
So we're going to go back to the burnt orange. Or not the burnt. I keep wanting to call it burnt orange. The orange brown. And we're going to dot the goat's eyes.
Oh. I can pull out my toothpick again.
Yay.
This makes me ridiculously happy. I don't know why.
It's like having
Also-
a cheat code for painting.
Right? Right? Like I joked that I'm gonna cheat, but you know, it's not cheating. It's a
working
valid
smarter.
option. Absolutely. Also, hi TTRP Gifts. Nice to see you. I just happened to look over at live chat.
There you go.
And now I'm going to be quiet for a second as I take care of the goat eyes.
See, I would happily look
is-
at live chat, but someone decided, can't imagine who.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Kat. Someone decided to jump up on my little Chromebook and change the channel on me. And now my hands are far too occupied to try and backtrack.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
That's why we have Martin. Thank you, Martin.
Yes.
Thank you, Martin.
Martin is a huge help.
Okay. Let me grab. Oh yeah, since it's come up a couple of times, Trininaze is asking about your kitty's names.
Kitty's names. Okay, so I have
kitty names.
We'll do the full breakdown. I have 3 cats. 2 are Maine Coons, and they are littermate brothers. I call them the twins. One of them is far more floofy and is a polydactyl named Hemingway, who I call Hemi for short. So right here, now being all cute and sweet, is Hemi. Cotton was the one who I just showed on the floor who was startled that I turned the camera on him. That was Cotton. They are massive cats. Like I pick them up and they take up about, half of my own length. Then I have a little girl. She is called a Tabaco, which is a calico cat that has tabby markings in the black and the orange areas. So she is a Tabaco, and she's very petite, and her name is Rory, and she is my teenage daughter. She's adorable. I love her, and she drives me bonkers. So those are my 3 cats, and the twins are 5, and Rory is 3.
And they're all adorable.
Yes, and I love them all. Okay, so that takes care of the overview. Now we're going to start getting into taking that old rose and with our detail brush, lightly going in and painting the tongues. More of the lighter pink.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They gave us an entire pot for tongues.
Oh, I know. Yep. And I'm actually not going to do like a full painting. I'm going to sort of... It's overbrush. You're not giving it a full coat, but you're being a little bit heavier handed than a dry brush.
I'm sorry, this just amuses me too much.
Yeah. I forgot which one it was. I think it was the slod. There was one paint color. Yes, the slod. One paint color. It was green for just a couple of spots on the skin.
But hey,
slod, which is why later on down the line we did a green slod version.
Because he had all the green.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I started with the dragon because the dragon tongue is
I did the same.
Clearly the easiest.
Yeah, I did the same.
The lion tongue is basically an impression of a tongue.
Yeah. Lion tongue is right here.
Oh, and the goat tongue. Jeez,
that goat.
You know what's got my goat?
I love how this goat has just become like, the goat.
Oh, goat.
Oh, that goat. What are we going to do with that goat?
Well, you're apparently getting a much more vibrant tongue than I expected, but that's okay.
That's all right.
We have washes coming.
That's just it. There are going to be washes coming.
Let's go through some more of these 3-parters as we finish the tongue. Zelquix asks, Torgar, Ishi, or Pulton, although they already own Pulton. Yeah, if you're leaning towards Torgar, go Torgar. I think both of them are good. I love Ishi as both a fun DPS and as a gold fine DPS. But yeah, Torgar, once again, evil champions.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm a fan of evil champions. It's that there are only so many in the game. Yeah.
No, that's not what I just used. I'm going to go back to Pale Sand. We're going to do the teeth. The detail brush.
Toothies.
The teethers. The teethers.
We're in the final details now. Oh, come on, Pale Sand. Don't do this to me.
So obviously with the lion, it's a little bit more evident where those fangs are.
Ah, there we go. Sorry, I had to take a moment.
That's okay.
The Pale Sand was fighting with me. Okay. This is always the hardest, but kind of in a weird way, the most rewarding part.
Yeah. Now the
Of the
goat has a
paint.
couple of bizarre little bottom pokey outy teeth.
Ugh. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna lightly do top like that.
And then the dragon.
Dragon.
Ooh.
I'm gonna take the side of the brush and just dance it along the edge of the mouth to bring out that row of teeth because it is so small.
Mm-hmm.
It'll help to just gradually build those teeth up as opposed to trying to paint them individually.
This is the time you get to be the dentist you always wanted to be.
I don't know about that.
Build those teeth up. Eh. Eh. It's weird. On the one side, it basically just looks like it's the tongue.
Yeah.
It's weird. But there we go.
There we go. That kind of shows it off a little bit better. You can see.
I answered that one. I got that one. Ham of Moose wants to know Wolfgar, Gosrick, or Dinar. I'm going to go Gosrick because Gosrick is a really fun support.
Yeah.
The Rivals of Waterdeep are one of the newer affiliations that have come out and has a lot of really good synergies. And Gosrick is... the armor ablation on Gosrick is super useful.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say Gosrick.
Yeah. Okay. So this basically, I believe.
Rawr.
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 Arg. So basically, we have all the details now pretty much pulled together.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into mixing our wash. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm like, mixing R begins with a W. It's Friday, and my brain just went like, you're being
It's
funny.
all right. It's
So,
all right.
You're going to want to get a clean brush, and I'm just going to, again, I'm going to kind of create it in one of the side pockets here because my wells are already used up. So I'm going to take the chocolate brown and take a couple of healthy scoops of that. Actually, one big healthy scoop might be enough, but just to be safe, because mixing up washes is always ever so much fun. Put that in there.
Yeah, and especially my chocolate brown is pretty thick.
Yeah.
It is actually the consistency
so is mine. It's
of melted chocolate.
Yeah, it looks like Hershey's chocolate right now. See?
Yeah.
So I'm going to grab that, and I think I might do a little touch of black as well.
And for those that don't know, since we do have some new people here in chat, or people who have just started with us, what is a wash?
A wash is basically a highly thinned out mixture of paint or a thinner consistency of pigments that you apply over your miniature, and it will fall into the recesses of your mini and bring out those deeper details, whereas highlighting gets the higher parts, washing gets out the deeper parts. It's just it's another fun way to bring out details. And then I'm going to take, I have a water dropper, just a little bottle full of water. It's not hyaluronic acid. It is truly just water. Please do not put hyaluronic acid on your minis. It won't do them any good.
Nope.
But I'm going to basically get this to be the consistency of a good broth when mixing this.
And you can buy
You can
washes.
buy washes, absolutely, yeah.
And we have used pre-made washes, but it's always nice
It
to
did not come with a wash, so we're mixing our own.
But it's kind of nice because there hasn't been a wash yet that I haven't asked you, okay, how would you make this wash happen just by mixing paints? That hasn't been pretty easy to figure out. So
yeah.
Put a little bit more water in here though.
That's the biggest trick, is getting it to the right consistency.
Yep.
More than anything else, because you don't want it to be too thick, and when it goes on, you obliterate everything. You know, there's a in-between step called a glaze, which is great, and they are very helpful for other things, but when you're truly looking for a wash, you want it to go on, and you still get the color to play through, but you can see what it's doing on my wrist right now. I love demonstrating on my wrist for this very reason. You can see it's going into the recesses. I actually might thin this out just a little bit more because it's still pretty dark. So I'm going to thin mine just a little bit more and then test again.
I think mine is in a good place.
It's in a happy place.
I think it's in a happy place.
There you go. Happy wash. Happy little wash.
And are we washing the whole thing or just part of it?
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
Yay! I love it.
In fact, I'm going to do one more test. Yeah, I'm happier with that one. I'm going to do the base first. Like so.
Whereas I just went straight for a wing. I'm like,
yes.
I
had a feeling you're just going to go right for the mini because I know how you are with like the wide open spaces.
Yeah, I am such a fan of the washes in general. I love how it makes... I love how it fills in all of the cracks. Mm-hmm. I love how it just very easily... A lot of the little mistakes that or little bits or those moments in where you're like, oh, I missed a spot.
Yeah.
Wash is just magical.
Yes.
It is so magical. It's also just fun to put on because especially after doing all of the fine detail work that we were just doing, there's something very cathartic about just going, and just giant strokes all over the entire creature. It's just fun. So this is my happy place. If I could get someone else to paint minis and I just come along and wash them. Yeah. I'm sure that's a job.
Probably.
And the back. And the butt. I'm trying to be good and do like the top first and then the bottom so that I'm not sticking my hand in my own wash because that also happens.
That would be not so grand.
Yeah, I've done that a lot. That's okay. Oh, and I should pull up. Oh, SailKnit wants to know, have you done terrain painting here or only creatures?
We have not done terrain yet here, really.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to terrain, but I think we gravitated towards the creatures because the fun thing about this show is, hey, paint the creatures you fight in the game.
Yeah, and honestly, terrain takes up a lot more space and a lot more time and dedication. If you're interested in terrain creation and builds, go check out my YouTube channel. I've made a whole bunch of different tutorials about different types of terrain that you can create using just household things that you can find at home, at your hardware store, even at your drugstore. And you can check that out. It's the Crafting Muse on YouTube. Give that a look if you really are interested in terrain crafting. Lots of cool things from water effects to basic stone varieties to even deserts and sand features. So you can check that out if you want to get a better idea of what you can also do with terrain. But for us and what we do here, the miniatures are honestly kind of fit the bill for what we have in terms of time and space, etc.
Space, especially for me. I basically repurpose my desk every time we do this, and I love it. But then the breakdown, it takes a little while.
It does. Yeah, the breakdown and cleanup.
Yeah. It's totally worth it, but it is something to keep in mind for those moments of like, oh yeah, and then we can do a whole piece of castle. Well, wait a second.
Yeah.
There's a problem with that.
Yeah. I mean, when I get a dedicated art desk again, that's a different story. Then I can totally just set up a whole system and have a camera set higher, etc., and be able to do terrain creation, record it, or stream it. But right now, when I need to bring a keyboard back onto my desktop, not so much here, especially when you get into hot glue guns. Whoa, boy, howdy.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because otherwise you end up with like your spider webs.
Oh, jeez.
Spider webs of glue gun. Yeah.
And if and when you accidentally spill paint, it sucks, but it's going to be nowhere near as bad as if you spill or get hot glue everywhere.
Yeah.
I would much rather have paint to clean up.
Yeah. It definitely is a thing when you get into terrain craft. So just something to keep in mind.
Oh, sorry. I just hit the microphone. Sorry to everybody at home.
That's all right. Hit it.
I needed a little more water at the last minute because my paper plate, as awesome as it is, it's doing a little bit of the soak up, and then it's got the lip along the edge, and so the wash was starting to sink into that lip, and I got a bit thicker of a brushful than I wanted. So I'm like, gotta just grab some water.
Yeah, that's fair. Any other questions as we're getting towards the end here?
Oh, yeah, we are getting towards the end. We've only got about 5 minutes left because after us is they're doing another interview.
Yep.
And then the Black Pits episode 3. I'm not gonna say I guess it's a rebroadcast.
Re-airing?
Yeah,
Second
something
airing?
like that. The airing number 2.
Yeah.
For those of you who did not get a chance to see it the first time, then you'll have a chance again after this. So hang out. I don't remember which interview is happening after us.
B-Dave, isn't it?
That would make sense, but once again, my job was to do all of the editing on those videos, so I've lost track of time.
I want to say it's B-Dave, to be honest.
B-Dave, who finally gets a chance to play freely in a game instead of just DMing. I mean, he's done an excellent job at DMing. I shouldn't say just, but like the fact that he gets to actually cut loose as freely is a lot of fun.
It is. It's fun to watch. Highly recommend you go and check it out if you have not checked it out yet.
Oh, yeah. Pick 6 and 1 asks, can I take familiars off of one of my background parties without switching? If you're asking what I think you're asking, yes, you can. If you use the F key, if you're on mouse and keyboard, you can just hold and press F, F and click where you want familiars to go, and it will just automatically put a familiar out if you have one. And you can you can remove them and put them back on during when you're in an adventure the same way you can with champions. So if you decide, oh wait, I actually want to move this familiar and have them on my ultimates bar, you can absolutely do that without having to start anything over. It is all easy to move. In fact, there's a lot of people who've put together formations to start an adventure, and then a completely different formation when they hit their wall. So like one formation in where the whole point of it is to speed through the initial however many adventure areas there are. And then when things start to get tough, they switch over to their heavy hitter party. So you can absolutely do all of that switching on the fly. It's stuck to my fingers. Ow.
Uh-oh.
It's fine. It was just, I thought I was holding it in a place that was dry, and it was mostly dry.
Yep, that's a thing.
And then the creature wanted to hold on, and that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
So,
all right.
Here we have this as as washed as possible now. So I'm going to let this dry before I assemble this back together. But basically what you'll do is once your base is dry and once your Chimera is dry, you're going to super glue this back into the base and then into that lovely little lift point. And you'll have this fully assembled and ready for your table. And you can do a nice coating of Mod Podge Ultra Matte, I should say. And that will seal your miniature up for you. I forgot to get the undercarriage. One moment, please.
Oh.
But yeah, this is pretty much let it dry and then assemble. Ready.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we will be posting pictures of our final assembled creatures, which you can find on the Discord, and I'll drink in a second. And then do you want to tell them what's going on next week?
Next week we're gonna have fun with an outhouse. We're gonna do the.
You think we're kidding?
No, it's a mimic outhouse. It is hysterical. It is amazing. I cannot wait to jump into that one. Wait, phrasing. Ooh. I can't wait to start painting that one. Maybe don't jump into an outhouse. I don't recommend. But we have finished up the Chimera from the WizKids paint kit.
Rawr.
And I'm very excited to have this fully assembled. Yay. I'm going to set this over here and finish drawing because I am starting to hit a couple wet spots and I don't want to do that. But thank you so much for joining us today. And we are wrapping this up a little bit earlier because we have the next round of episode 3 and a fantastic interview or idle insights beforehand happening in just a few short minutes.
Happy Summer Spectacular.
Happy Summer Spectacular. Thank you very much. Don't forget to log in, get your daily chest, because that's a good thing to claim so that when you get 4 of them, you get the Minsk and Boo skin in their gladiator forms, which, trust me, you want to see. Don't forget to use that Black Pits Glam without the A in the word black to get your Tatiana gladiator skin too, because that's a very cool one as well. And we'll see you next week. And thank you to Martin. Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we say it every week, but it's worth it every week. And thank you to everybody in chat. And thank you to V. And go enjoy some interviews and the Black Pits.
Dun, dun, dun. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye.
And now we say goodbye. Bye.